After you've done going through the content pages, you're going to want to look at the quizzes tab and preview the quiz. So from the drop-down menu, you can go to preview, and this will let you see exactly what the student sees when they take the exam. So you can read the questions, you can make note of any answers that you maybe want to change, or any references to the instructor's email address, anything like that. This all looks pretty good though. If you did see something that you wanted to change, you could exit the preview. And to edit a question is a little complicated. What you want to do is click on the quiz, go to Layout Questions, and then you can add or edit questions from there. So this shows me all the questions in the quiz. I can click on any of them, and here I can edit the text, edit the answers, change which answers get how many points. And when I'm done, I can just save or save and copy to create a new question, and so on. So we'll just go ahead and not make any changes right now. So be sure to review all your quizzes. From the discussion pages, you can see all of the text for all of the discussions, and I've already started to correct this one. And all of this looks good, so we don't need to make any changes here. Once again, if we did want to make a change, we could just select Edit Topic and type directly into the HTML editing box and get the usual set of tools. Let's look at the drop boxes. Now, if I click on this link, as an instructor, what I see is actually a list of all of the students in the class and any submissions that they've made to the Dropbox. And we'll look a little more at that later on when we talk about actually running your class and grading. But what you can also do is use the drop-down menu to select Edit, and this will give you access to the actual instructions for the Dropbox. And so you can read them here and make sure that, once again, everything's looking correct. So I'm changing this assignment because right now the assignment is to write a letter to a colleague, but I actually want to have this be write a letter to a student. So I could just go ahead and change this text. Download the attached file format for a letter you'll write to your student. And then I can also change this attached file. I can download a copy of it and get rid of it, and then I'm going to open it in Notepad and save as copyright student letter. So date, name of student, reformat this a little bit so it's a little easier to read. And so on. I'm not actually going to go through all the text once again, to save time. So we'll just go ahead and save this. And then when I have the file the way I want it, I can upload it back to the Dropbox folder. So this is in my Downloads folder. So I have a lot of stuff. Let's sort it by date. And I'm just going to make this a little smaller so I can drag and drop. So I'm going to drag this right onto the upload button and say done. So now when I save this, we see that I have my new text here, and I also have the correct new file on the Dropbox. So I can save and close. I'm going to want to do that for the rest of the Dropboxes as well. check them and make sure they're all correct and doing what I want. And then finally, we want to review the news items. So course home and news tool. So this one's fine. I already adjusted it. Now, if you want to have a your instructor posting, feel free to do that. I generally just direct people to my instructor introduction in the content page rather than having it in both places. But let's go ahead and change it anyhow. So I'm going to go ahead and edit, and I'm going to replace the picture here the same way that I did over in the instructor introduction page. And add the appropriate alt text. I should really check whether Cannon Beach has one end or two ends. And now one of the things that happens in Chrome is sometimes the window is narrower than the edit window, so you can grab the corner. Oops, and let's see if that works. Okay, so you can make this a little smaller so it will actually fit on your window. Or you can make it bigger if you want more room. I don't think anybody really cares about this, so I'm just going to get rid of that entirely. Nobody cares about the picture size or format. I'm going to change my name, Mark.Goodman. Okay, now here's something that's really interesting. So this is actually a link to a mail to. So when the student clicks on this link, it will pop up a mail window that they can compose a mail to the regular email address. And this is important because you might think that just changing the email address here is going to fix this link. But actually, this just changes the link text. It doesn't actually change the address. And to show you what's actually going on, I'm going to show you some HTML. HTML is hypertext markup language. And fortunately, you don't need to know a lot of this to go ahead and create content in Desire to Learn because it's sort of nice about that. But here's that actual tag that I just changed. So it has my name, mark.goodman@pcc.edu, as the link, as the text for a link, an anchor. But what happens when I click on this link is it actually sends mail to robert.redford@pcc.edu. So this is not good because they'll click on the link for Mark Goodman and they'll actually send email to the old instructor who may not even be at PCC anymore. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to manually correct that. So now this, what happens when you click on the link, matches this, the label to the link, and I'm going to click Update. And you'd be surprised how many people miss that when they do course takeovers. In fact, a lot of CIS faculty actually miss that as well. They have this kind of email link on the syllabus and they forget to change the actual mail to address. Now, the other thing to do, which may even be easier, is just go ahead and delete that entirely and just type mark.goodman@pcc.edu. And let's unbold that. So it's just a piece of text. And that way you don't have to worry about changing the mail to address. You can make that change directly from here. All right, so I'm going to leave the phone number and the office and office hours the same for now. And I'm actually going to make this run for the full week. So let's make this go away on 5/12 at 11:59 p.m. and update. Great. So now this is going to be visible from the beginning of time all the way through to the end of the first week of class. And that's pretty much it. So we've previewed and reviewed all of these documents, and we should be ready for the next task.